What's going on, folks? This is Coach Marcus for Pro Fan Talk, and Amazon Thursday Night Football starts NFL Week 4.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, maxed out.
What's going on, folks? It was a good game last night, kind of. Detroit is proving that they are a real team. The Packers looked good last week. This week, not so much. It was weird because it seemed Jordan Love has what I call a lawnmower's mentality. Just like a lawnmower when you were a kid, you had to pull that thing 3 and 4 times to get it to start. And his starts in the second half have been great. If he could only get that started in the beginning, they'd be a lot better. Hasn't been happening. They were god-awful in the first half, looked a lot better in the second half, and actually tried to come back and make it a game. He made a couple mistakes, turnovers and things of that nature, and they just couldn't recover. Detroit looks solid. Detroit's defense is for real. Even with the injuries they've had, Aiden Hutchinson, what's the other guy? Brian Branch. Them dudes have been balling, and they are paying dividends for Detroit. They've got a decent offense. Jared Goff has been playing efficient. He threw that early pick, which was just a bad decision, and he came right back from it. Went down the field and scored. So Jared Goff has finally come into his own and exuding that veteran leadership that you need on your team at quarterback. So it's been pretty decent. At least Detroit has. They're 3-1. Green Bay is 2-2. But Jordan Love is going to take his lumps, and let him take his lumps this year. He still looks a lot better than a lot of people thought he would have, but they got some things to iron out. And they will. Again, the longer you play, the more you can get those things ironed out, and the more your team just continues to get better. You as a quarterback get comfortable with the guys on the field, and you can keep it moving. Detroit's got it rolling. They've bought into Campbell, and they're going to keep moving and keep getting better. We'll see what happens towards the end of the year, if they can stay healthy, and see if they can make a run for the playoffs. So we'll see. It was a good game last night, like I said, in the second half. But they just couldn't overcome those first half mistakes. And it was like they were running in mud that first half, man. And then for whatever reason, in the second half, they come out kind of on fire and kind of bring it back. But they just couldn't keep that momentum and make up for them first half mistakes. So Eagles have Washington this week. Washington looked good at 2-0. Then they got their brains beat in with the 9 sacks. They've got some work to do. I do not think that Washington's offensive line can handle our defense right now. Our defensive front is too good. With Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, the way Fletcher Cox has been playing, and Nolan Smith has been sprinkled in there, but really the guys that have been doing the most damage is Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, and Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is on track to be Defensive Player of the Year if he stays healthy. So let's see if he can keep that up. But I don't think Washington's offense is ready for us at all. At all. So we'll see what's going to happen. But also, Hassan Reddick has been relatively quiet. If you watched my show last night on A2D Radio, every Thursday at 7 p.m., by the way, check out A2D Radio on YouTube. Hassan Reddick is getting his cast off. If you're coming off the edge, one of the things you can do is, everybody knows that Hassan's got that bend. They can get horizontal to the ground, get around that offensive tackle or that tight end, and they can get a hand on the quarterback and either force the quarterback out of the pocket or yank him down. When you got a cast on, you just don't have that type of leverage. You don't have that type of grip, and it's different. So Hassan Reddick is getting his cast off this week. And just like last week, just like last year, Hassan Reddick didn't really get fired up until week 4 or 5. So this is right on schedule with what he did last year. I think last year it was just a situation where Gannon was not using him correctly. And he got close. He just wasn't getting home. And it's the same thing this year. Except now you got a little bit more help in the middle with what Jalen Carter and Davis has been doing. So he's been forcing quarterbacks up. I know Baker Mayfield, he forced him out of the pocket. And Nolan Smith just made a hell of a play and came looped all the way back around and put a hit on him before he could get rid of the ball. And those are the kind of things we're looking for. I am expecting Hassan Reddick to have a game this week against the Commanders. I'm expecting Hassan Reddick and Jalen Carter to just go off and eat. I think those two right there, Josh Sweat will be in there somewhere. I think Slay and Reed Blankenship will have another set of picks. This time Slay will not drop it. I don't know if anybody get a pick 6. I don't know. We'll see. Josh Jobe has an opportunity to get a little bit better, get some more confidence. I'm curious as if we'll see Eli Ricks. Our defense has an opportunity to eat and get log some sacks and get those stats up there, because I don't think that the offensive line of the Washington Commanders is ready to deal with us. Not right now. And I don't think Sam Howell is a good enough quarterback to really test our secondary. They got some good receivers, but I just don't think Sam Howell is that dude. Not at all. On offense, I've been watching Chase Young, and I've been interested to see him ever since he got hurt. I like his story. The kid was great coming out of college, and then he tore that knee, and it's basically been an almost 2-year rehab. He wanted to come back last year, and they didn't rush him. I think they had a couple of vibes very similar to RG3, which is why they didn't rush him, sat him, and now he's fully healthy. So I'm very interested to see how he performs during the year, and let's see if he gets any help, because I thought they had a decent defensive front, but collectively, last week they logged 5 tackles combined. Buffalo, Josh Allen, 32 dropbacks and only hit once from Washington's defense. They got to be better than that, and I don't think our offensive line is going to let that happen. Especially if we do what we've been doing and establish the run. I don't see Washington stopping us. I don't see him stopping us, because I believe James Cook had 98 yards on him, and in total they had 100 yards rushing, over 100 yards rushing on Washington. So I don't see Washington's defensive front stopping our run game at all. I am expecting both DeAndre Swift and Kenny Gainwell to have a day. I'm expecting DeAndre Swift to go over 100 yards again, and I'm expecting Kenny Gainwell to be over 50 total, because I think Kenny Gainwell is going to get used in the screen game and the passing game a little bit. So I'm expecting him to have 50 total yards and DeAndre Swift over 100 yards rushing, but we'll see how that plays out. I just don't see them stopping our offensive line. They've been playing too well. They're getting in sync, running the ball. DeAndre Swift has been as advertised behind the line of scrimmage. And let's just keep doing what we've been doing. What I like to see, we did it last week, line him up in pistol, get Jalen Hurts about 4 yards deep. DeAndre Swift was about 9 yards deep. Line him up in pistol and stick that ball out so the defense can see it. Get those linebackers flowing. Set up your blocks and just run down their throats. We had to be at least 5 or 6 or probably more instances where we were running the ball and our running backs were not getting touched until they were 5 yards into the second level. And that's what you want to do. He had 6.8 yards a carry or something like that. As a running back, the goal is to get 4 yards a carry. Anything above that is gravy. And when your offensive line is producing holes and running lanes like that, just keep doing it. Run it till they stop it, and ain't nobody stopped it yet. I just hope we don't try to get too cute for our own good, trying to placate everybody and throw the ball all over the field when we don't have to. There will be plenty of opportunity for us to do that. But let's just go with what's working. The run game is going to open up the pass game. It's going to open up the RPOs if you still want to run that. And it's going to open up. We have so many options for play action and screens right now because of the way that DeAndre Swift is running the ball, and we need to take advantage of it. But right now, our offense, the Philadelphia offense, is looking a lot better than they have the last couple weeks. We still got some things to iron out, some kinks to get straightened out, and that will happen with more play, more snaps, especially with the new guys. Thinking of specifically like DeAndre Swift when Jalen Hurts threw that pick. Jalen Hurts threw to a location. It wasn't a bad pass or a bad decision. He threw to a location, and he expected his guy to get there or be there, and DeAndre Swift went in the other direction. So that's just not being on the same page, and that's just mental reps, film study, things of that nature. So they'll get that ironed out. That pass he threw to Zacchaeus was just on the money. He missed one earlier in the game where he had Dallas Goedert wide open deep for a possible touchdown. but he got forced out of the pocket. When he threw that touchdown to Zacchaeus, it was almost the same scenario, but he stayed in the pocket to the very last moment and took the hit. But he put the ball where only Zacchaeus can get it. He threw Zacchaeus open, put it right on the money, and it ended up in 6 points. Hopefully that'll spark him staying in the pocket just that half sec longer to take that hit to get rid of the ball. And that looks like that's what he's trying to do. So he's trusting his protection a little bit more. And even when he bailed on that pass that could have been to Dallas Goedert, I understand why he did. You see that flash coming from your left or off the edge, and your internal clock is like it's time to go, especially if you pass 3 seconds. Your internal clock is telling you it's time to go and do what you do. So I'm not really mad at that. He's been doing a good job of keeping himself out of trouble, getting rid of the ball, throwing it out of bounds. He hasn't had too many RPOs because we haven't had to do that. And let's keep that up. I called this earlier. If you watch any of my previous videos, go back, check out the channel, look at the playlists. I said the way we were set up, Jalen Hurts could have more passing attempts and we could have more rushing attempts with running backs and less RPOs. All of those things could be true. And that's what it looks like it's going. We haven't ran too many called RPOs, and it looks like we're giving the ball to our running backs, and they're, paying off dividends. So let's keep doing that. I don't see any reason why we should stop. I'm looking at 35-13 over Washington, and our defense is going to eat. I'm expecting at least 3 sacks this year or this week, and I want to see 2 picks. I want to see 2 picks. Slay and Reed Blankenship. Slay, don't drop the pick, bro. Please hit that subscribe button, click on that notification bell so you do not miss a thing. And if you don't mind, go to my YouTube channel. Look for that top 10 playlist. Click on that playlist so you can see my most popular videos. Click it, start it. You can go get yourself something to eat. It'll be there when you get back. Got to get them watch hours up. You know what it is. So I will see you guys, and go Birds.